to be absolutely massive, as in it was the top of the table, probably two of the best Premier League sides we've seen since the start. Now they're both challenging just for Champions League places, and it's Arsenal versus Man United. Arsenal plus 110. Okay, you trust that one with, well, just flip a coin. Man United at plus 240. I mean, you've got to look at goals here because neither are really setting the world alight in defence. Over 2.5 is minus 110. Under 2.5 is also minus 110. The draw is at plus 250. Mark O'Hare, can you trust either of these two sides?
No, I wouldn't want to back either of them. No confidence in what we've seen. I think a bit of recency bias might be at play here as well with what Arsenal did at Stamford Bridge. As I said, I didn't think they were that impressive and just took their opportunities when they came from Chelsea's own errors, really. And obviously over a longer period, over the last 4 or 5 weeks, they've not been anywhere near the same standards that they set through the winter. So, yeah, I've got doubts over Arsenal, the same doubts I had going into that match against Chelsea with Tierney and Partey, key players missing, reshuffle across the pitch elsewhere. And, there were stats going around before the Chelsea game about Arsenal's win ratio dropping from 65% to 25% when Thomas Partey doesn't start, and their goal output decreases, their goals conceded increase. So, more than enough evidence really for me to sort of leave Arsenal alone as well. But United, it's hard to kind of put into words where they're at the minute after what they did at Anfield. Really, it was quite embarrassing, that surrender. And I guess the news on Thursday that Ten Hag will take over will give the club a bit of a lift, but they require a massive overhaul behind the scenes and on the pitch as well. So, and yeah, I mean, rather than the defeat at Anfield, I think the biggest sort of worry for me about Man United or trying to back United is what they did against Norwich last weekend, which was lose the expected goals battle and have 15 shots conceded against the worst team in the league, which is criminal, really. So we said before the midweek match, they've only kept 3 clean sheets away from home all season in the Premier League. So, yeah, I'm with you, Flash. I think if there's a bet to be had in this match, it would be goals. For all Arsenal's improvements, they have only kept 3 clean sheets in the last 10 home league games. So, if it's a pick 'em between over 2.5 and under 2.5, I'd definitely be with overs, just because there's so much at stake for these two teams. Cards are probably a big runner as well. There's a card-happy referee in charge, but the reverse was a 3-2 thriller. So I wouldn't be too surprised if we got 3 or more goals here again, and also the potential for Ronaldo to be back in the squad as well after missing midweek. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot at stake here. Neither two teams will set up defensively, and if they do, neither fill me with confidence defensively either.
No, and if you are worrying about Mark O'Hare's voice, don't. He's just obviously been a little bit under the weather. Lesser man would have just said, listen, I can't come on because I'm not feeling too good. But no, he's braved it. That's why you want to be in the trenches with him. I've gone goals, Stinch, because I can see this being a minimum 2-1, 2-2. Man United could win. I've got to stay away from the money line because Arsenal can't be trusted. Man United are due a performance. But the big problem I have with Man United is they went 5-4-1, 4-5-1, 4-4-2, out of possession, 4-1-3. They're like all over the place. They have no identity. And the one thing that's a guarantee is they don't keep clean sheets. So please don't say cue the 0-0.
Yeah, and well, quite nice, isn't it? Their formation is the same amount of goals they conceded against Liverpool this season, wasn't it? 5-4-0.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't really like either team, really. We've touched on them lots of times this season. Arsenal, still very happy with the bet we made yesterday at home to Chelsea. Still believe it was a good bet. Goals change games.
Or the right bet, not a good bet, a right bet.
Yeah, a good bet doesn't necessarily mean it's not our fault they lost. We should send our receipts to Christensen, shouldn't we? Really, tell him that he shouldn't have done that back pass, and maybe we'd have been okay. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with saying a bet's good even if it lost, because it's completely out of our control as soon as the players enter the pitch. If somebody offered you, plus 1,000 on Chelsea to win, but they still lost last night, you wouldn't say it was a bad bet. You'd say it was an amazing bet.
No, you'd say it was the right bet, yeah.
So, yeah, I still have reservations about Arsenal, especially with the injury problems. Questionable, regarding United's motivation, but given the fact that Chelsea lost and obviously Spurs lost last weekend as well, United are still actually in this top 4 battle, which is kind of mad to say that. And I really wouldn't be surprised to see them go and win there. Not because I think they're good, just because they have got very good players, obviously. If Ronaldo comes back in, obviously he's a match winner. That hat trick against Norwich last weekend obviously bailed them out. Easily the best player on both sides. And maybe with the announcement today that Man United have a new manager, maybe the players that are there will want to put in a performance because there'll be a close eye on them. This is, maybe a clean slate already. We have seen United put in good performances over the last sort of 6 or 7 years. They just aren't able to do it on a week-to-week basis, and probably for 90 minutes. They're quite good at maybe doing it for 40 or 50 minutes and getting the 3 or 4 goals they need to win the game. But consistently, no. So I wouldn't be surprised to see United win this. If I was forced into a bet, probably goals, because Mark mentioned about Arsenal, and we know United can't defend. So, yeah, maybe over 2.5, considering it's a 50-50 it's a 50-50 shout, basically, with the way the odds are divided, then, yeah, maybe overs is the way to go. As I say, because both defences just look all over the shop at the minute.
One of them's going to score twice, Mark O'Hare. So Arsenal are plus 110 to score twice. Man United a massive plus 190. And as long as one of them, you're going to come out with profit. It's almost like a free hit if you have Arsenal scoring twice, because that Man United plus 190 was where I was going to go. And then I just pulled the brakes on myself, pulled the reins in and went, hey, settle down. Over 2.5 at minus 110 is the only way I could go, because I couldn't go anywhere near them money lines. I mean, Arsenal looks like a trap at plus 110, and then after the event you're like, oh my god, they were massive. But listen, Man United do have players who can score goals. So listen, let's have a little look at the official pick, because we know what this is going to be like. I wouldn't put anyone off cards. I think this could get a little bit frustrated, and they could go a bit naughty. So it's over 2.5 goals in the game for me at minus 110. Not even bothered about the both teams to score an over, which obviously you'll probably get around plus 115. I think everyone in the chat thinks that team totals over and over in the game is probably the way to go.